Presented by Honda at the Model Clearout event. It's the best time to team up with a Honda you'll love.
Welcome to Baltimore, Maryland. We are at Oriole Park at Camden Yards on a special night here. It is a night in which the Orioles are playing part to host the National Federation of the Blind night. You can see the uniforms. All the players will wear Braille with their Orioles on the front spelled out in Braille. Their names on the back are spread out in Braille. It's to recognize the 40th anniversary of the National Federation of the Blind moving their national headquarters to Baltimore. So all of these players for the Orioles will wear these Braille uniforms, and they will be auctioned off after the game to go to the support this National Federation for the Blind. It is a 78-year-old organization that has worked for the last 40 years here. Here's the starting lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Billy McKinney's at the top of the order, and down in the 3 spot. Dustin Smoke against tonight's starter Dylan Bundy is 5 for 14 with a couple of doubles, a home run, and 3 ribbies, and then Ledmus Diaz hit his 18th home run last night. That's a new career high, and over his last 14 games he's hit nearly 350 with 5 doubles and a pair of home runs.
Tonight the Blue Jays will face someone they're very familiar with. This is Dylan Bundy, making his 29th start of the season. That's a career high. It's also his 4th start against the Blue Jays this season, 7th of his career. 3 starts this year versus Toronto. He's had 1 really good one when he had 10 strikeouts in 7 innings pitched. That was back in April, but his last 2 not good at all. 9 innings total, 12 earned runs. And the problems he has had this season have come from the long ball. He's given up 38 home runs this season, the most in the major leagues, 21 of those off of his fastball. So the Blue Jays tonight should be sitting on that fastball.
Blue Jays hit 3 home runs in their win last night. They shut out the Orioles 5-0. Blue Jays have hit 34 home runs against Baltimore this season. That ties their career high for the most home runs in a single season. First pitch to Billy McKinney's upstairs for a ball, and we are underway. McKinney's really been scuffling lately. He hasn't been able to do much with the bat. His average down to 276.
Says I need to stay behind the ball just a little bit more. He knows what they're trying to do to him. What I have to do is stay back just a little bit longer. He feels like he's getting out there a little bit too quickly to try and get the ball. There are the numbers you were just talking about on the road trip. Not real good. 0 for 18 with 8 RBI. Says I might be pressing just a little bit, trying to do too much. My game is line drive to left field.
Foul that one right off the umpire. Boy, that rocked home plate umpire David Rackley. Caleb Joseph checking on the umpire, but he got knocked back on his heels by that line drive.
Fastball up and in, right off the face mask.
Well, Caleb Joseph, the catcher, was well aware that it kind of rocked his world, and now they're going to give him a little time to regroup. Sunday here, the Orioles catcher, Chance Cisco, got hit with a foul ball, actually suffered a laceration on his chin, and he's undergoing concussion protocol right now.
Caleb Joseph has had some problems with concussions over the years, so he understands what that is all about. So he was giving his mate behind the plate there, David Rackley, a little bit of chance to catch his breath.
So it's 2 balls and a strike to Billy McKinney. Kelly was 0 for 4 in the game last night. Fastball in the outer part of the plate. Bundy will come at you with fastballs. He's a power pitcher. He has given up a major league leading 38 home runs this season. He pitches in a hitter friendly ballpark here at Oriole Park.
It's fastball when it's not moving and it's not placed well, he'll give up his share of home runs.
There's a fly ball into center field. Cedric Mullins is over. He is in the alley, makes the catch. 1 away. Let's take a look at the rest of the defense. Mullins in his center. Adam Jones has moved to right, and there's a newcomer in left.
This is DJ Stewart, the Orioles' #1 draft pick in 2015 out of Florida State. First taste of the big leagues, obviously. 3 starts in left field, 5 games total. Getting a chance tonight. He's a left-handed hitter. He was an all-star down in AAA.
So 1 out. Here is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Curveball in there for a strike. Gurriel was 1 for 4 in the game last night. He's hit just 200 on this road trip, 5 for 25. Big swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2. There's no question about Bundy's stuff. It's always been about location and consistency. He's still just 25 years old. Pretty good looking split right there for a strikeout. So he gets a fly ball and a strikeout.
He had a 10 strikeout game against the Blue Jays earlier this year. That is not his season high. His season high is 14. He is a strikeout pitcher, but he has to hit the spots when he needs to. There's a ball that actually misses where he wanted it, but it had so much depth to it, so much movement to it. He'll pick up his first strikeout.
There's Smoke. He goes after the first pitch and it's a fly ball. Stewart's not sure where it is. Mullins is there to help him out. Twilight here in Baltimore. It's tough for those outfielders to pick up the fly balls, but they make the catch. Quick inning for Dylan Bundy. At bat, and I think the umpires want to make sure he's okay, so they all converged up the third base line in between innings to make sure he's okay. He looks like he's fine, and we will continue. Let's take a look at the Oriole lineup. Of course, the Orioles have tied their career high with 107 losses. Adam Jones back in the outfield. He's in right field tonight. He's always been trouble for the Blue Jays. 36 home runs and 98 RBIs for Jones and Chris Davis. The same can be said about Davis, but he's especially tough on Aaron Sanchez. 2 doubles, 4 home runs. Davis hit the first career home run Aaron Sanchez ever gave up back at Rogers Center.
Time to get back for Aaron Sanchez as Aaron marks his 20th start of the season. He's coming off a loss at Boston, but he pitched very well against the Red Sox. 3 hits, 1 earned run over 7 innings. That's the 3rd time that he has faced the Orioles this season. The first time he faced him might have been his best start of the season. Took a no-hitter into the 8th inning.
Misses with that first fastball for a ball to Cedric Mullins, the switch-hitting center fielder. Reese McGuire is catching Sanchez for the first time. McGuire has caught Pannone and Gaviglio, 2 each in his early days of his big league career. Sanchez can be tough to catch. The only run that scored in that last game at Boston was a wild pitch that got away from Danny Jansen. He can be tough to catch because of the movement and the curveballs he throws so hard.
There's a curveball right there, and that's been a very good pitch for him over his last couple of starts. I asked Gibby why, and he said, you know what, he's getting stronger as the season finishes up. He spent so much time on the disabled list, and he feels he's getting that swing to it.
Fly ball deep to center field, and that ball is gone. Cedric Mullins takes Sanchez deep. His 4th home run of the season. And the Orioles have a quick 1-0 lead.
He hasn't been up here long, but I'll tell you, he has made an impression on the Orioles and their organization, both offensively and defensively, with his speed and defensive ability in the outfield, and now with his bat. You mentioned his 4th home run. It's a fastball out over the plate, elevated about belt high, and Cedric Mullins smacks it into the center field bleachers. Aaron's fastball tails to it. Against the left-handed batter, if you don't get it down, it's going to tail and move right to the barrel of the bat. That fan pretty excited about the catch in the outfield.
Looks like they're going back and forth as to who was going to keep the baseball. That fan was trying to give it away to a couple of young fans, and nobody wanted to take it. So it's 1-0. Sanchez throws that changeup and miss. 2 balls and a strike to the switch-hitting Jonathan Villar, who's playing shortstop tonight. Villar, for the season, this is his 130th game. He's hit 14 homers and driven in 45.
You know, one other thing that Gibby said about Aaron today is he said his curveball's been better because he's been able to get it closer to the plate. He's not bouncing it as much as he was earlier, and I think that had something to do with the finger. He says he's around the plate, and when he is around the plate with that breaking ball, he can be tough.
Gurriel is short. Throws on the run in time. 1 away. Take a look at the rest of the defense. Gurriel and Travis up the middle. Diaz and Tellez at the corners. In the outfield, Dwight Smith Jr. gets another start.
Yeah, against the right-handed pitching Dylan Bundy. He's got splits favoring left-handed hitters. Dwight Smith Jr. will get the start in the outfield. His 12th start in left field. Blue Jays have used 11 different left fielders this year. John Gibbons wants to get another lefty swinger into the lineup, so Dwight Smith gets the start in the outfield tonight.
So this is Adam Jones. He's back in right field tonight. He was the DH in last night's game. Jones, for his career, has 36 homers and 98 RBIs against the Blue Jays. But against Aaron Sanchez, he's 3 for 31. It's this one over the Orioles dugout out of play.
He was in the lineup originally last night for the Baltimore Orioles in the outfield, but then with the rain delay, the field was a little bit wet, a little bit soggy. So Buck Showalter said, you know what, I want to keep Adam in the lineup. Let's DH him and get him off the wet turf last night. Beautiful night tonight.
It's perfect. Not a cloud in the sky, 27 degrees. There were rain showers all afternoon. Neither team hit on the field. The field was covered. Jones takes the breaking ball. You know, in reference to Sanchez and his curveball, last time out in Boston, he had trouble with the first inning in curveball. He couldn't throw it for a strike. He bounced it a lot, but boy, as the game went on, he got good command of it. Full count to Jones. Trey Mancini is on deck. Mancini is playing first base tonight. Chris Davis is the DH, as Buck Showalter will rotate this trio: Jones, Mancini, and Davis. Fastball ripped into center field. Grichuk is over to cut it off. He'll play it back in. Adam Jones with a 1-out single.
Well, there's nothing wrong with his fastball. He just needs to put it where he needs to. It looked a little bit like the catcher got crossed up. You mentioned this is the first time that Reese McGuire is catching Aaron Sanchez. Watch the reaction of the catcher. He thought that was going to be a breaking ball.
Yeah, he sure did. He was moving his glove in a direction to suggest he thought it was going to be a curveball. He's fortunate Jones hit it. This is Trey Mancini. Mancini last night was over 3 with a strikeout. He struck out and grounded out twice. Little looper. Gurriel's going to make the catch. He gets back into the outfield, and Mancini's retired on a soft bumper. Sanchez now will deal with a nemesis of his, Chris Davis. Davis has had a terrible season, batting .172, but he has 4 career home runs against Aaron Sanchez. 2 doubles, 4 home runs, and he's driven in 5 for his career against Aaron.
16 home runs, just 49 RBIs, and a batting average well under 200. Chris Davis has fallen off. He's got just a couple of seasons ago had a 50 home run season for the Baltimore Orioles.
He's a two-time home run champ. There goes Jones. McGuire's throw is in the line, and he gets Jones. Reese McGuire is very quick behind the plate. He doesn't necessarily have great arm strength before he gets it on his way quickly. Second time we've seen him nail a runner. He got Jose Ramirez in the Cleveland series. Here he gets Adam Jones. Good tag at second. That'll end the inning. Gurriel came into the baseline and makes the tag. Reese McGuire throws out Jones. Fifth time in the big leagues, and he's been impressive.
Watch how quickly he gets the ball out of his glove into his hand, his throwing hand, and how quickly it gets down there. And Gurriel with a nice tag. That's the adjustment that Gurriel had to make on that throw. He had to get in front of the runner. It was tailing a little bit. He was able to catch it in one motion with those long arms, make the tag, and get the out at second base.
McGuire threw out Jose Ramirez of the Indians
from his knees.
Very quick. This is Randall Grichuk. He is behind Bundy, 0-2. Another breaking ball. Foul tip.
4 batters in, and it looks like Dylan Bundy's slider's working tonight. That was another one. He got Gurriel on a good hard slider. His last 2 pitches were sliders to Grichuk. They only hit 177 against his slider this season.
High fastball, and that's the book on Grichuk. When you throw him a fastball, they have elevated it, and his approach should be lay off the borderline pitches if you can.
Especially
easier said than done.
The ones that are up, they look so inviting.
This is popped up and playable. First baseman Mancini into foul territory, calls off the catcher and makes the catch. Grichuk's retired.
When Dylan Bundy is on, he can have good games. There's no question his stuff is really good, but he's been making too many mistakes with his pitches this year. Here's what he throws. Fastball he throws at 56% of the time. It's 92. Slider, change up, and a curveball, but it's that slider. When he's got that working and he's using it along with good fastball command, he can be tough.
This is Rowdy Tellez. Tellez playing first base. Tellez was the first baseman in last night's game. Smoke is DHing tonight. Another breaking ball. Tellez had an RBI single in the second. He drove in the first Blue Jays run of the night, and then he scored on Danny Jansen's 2-run home run.
They thought they were going to trick him and try to throw a changeup to him, but he stayed back on it and ripped it into right field.
Takes a fastball strike. Playing in the shift against Tellez, Wilkerson is almost a straightaway short. VR, the shortstop, is up the middle. Swing and a miss, and Tellez strikes out. 2 quick outs here in the second.
Got the good combination work in the slider. He's also got the curveball that he'll throw occasionally. This time he is just going to power that fastball by Rowdy Tellez. I'm sure they figured he was looking for something off speed after he took strike 2 right down the middle, so they came right back with another fastball.
Lots of discussion going on the bench about Dylan Bundy and what hitters have seen so far. That let miss Diaz. He hit his 18th home run of the season last night. Came off the bench to play defense and hit a home run in the 9th inning to dead center. That's a new career high in homers for Diaz. Hit 17 for the Cardinals in his rookie season.
And I think Caleb Joseph and Dylan Bundy were paying attention last night. That was the first pitch fastball that he hit out of here for a home run, and those first 2 pitches off-speed pitches. That last one was a fastball just for show.
Backup breaking ball that was meant to be down and away, and it was on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Both of the hits Diaz has against Bundy have been home runs. High fly ball into the second deck.
It's awesome when you can come off the bench, play a couple of innings on defense, then get an AB and get a fastball right down the middle. He knows exactly what to do with that pitch. Dealt it out of here for home run number 18. What a good feeling that is in your 1 at bat to go deep.
He got jammed on this one. That's DJ Stewart in left field. Another quick inning for Bundy. 3 up, 3 down. He's retired all 6 he's faced so far tonight.
Just how Aaron Sanchez has gone back to the curveball the last couple of starts, and it's worked well for him. Well, in part, that's a result of his finger being healthy, in part because it's spinning well off that finger, and also in part because Sanchez knows that pitch can be a weapon of choice for him, especially against a hitter that struggles with spin. Aaron is aware that the curveball can be something that can be a bit of a wipeout pitch. What it also does is make his fastball better and provide more balance with the changeup. Now Sanchez's primary pitch remains the fastball, and if it's cooking, he'll use it 60 to 70% of the time in an outing. The rest, that's curveball and changeup, and ideally it would be an equal distribution, but that depends on which of the two are working best that day. Buck?
Thank you very much, Rash. And so far he's thrown a few curveballs. He hasn't really thrown his best curveball just yet. Chris Davis was at the plate when Reese McGuire threw out Adam Jones to end the inning. There's a very well thrown curveball. He didn't try to overthrow it and throws it in there for a strike. Better tempo on both of those breaking balls.
Yeah, stayed over the rubber just a little bit longer and let that arm catch up with his body, and that helps the release point. It helps you to command, control that breaking ball.
bounce that one in the dirt. It's now a ball and 2 strikes. This is the 20th start of the season for Sanchez. There's another curveball in a good way. McGuire will clear the lane and throw it to Tellez. Completes the strikeout. That's the first strikeout of the game for Sanchez.
Yeah, when your curveball's working against Chris Davis, you keep throwing it. He's had 7 straight seasons of at least 169 strikeouts, with a high of 219 in 2016. Aaron Sanchez knows that. He just kept fitting him a steady diet of breaking balls.
This is Rayvek Valera, the second baseman. He's a switch hitter. Just 29 games, no homers, 7 RBIs. There's a good fastball with good movement.
And it was down. This is one of the players that the Orioles got from the Dodgers in the Manny Machado trade. So they're hoping for good things, big things from him.
Ground ball, big hop for Travis. He throws to first, 2 away. Yeah, the Orioles traded away some marquee players, and I don't know if they got full value in return. Manny Machado in the prime of his career. They traded away Zach Britton, who was healthy and throwing very well. Traded away Jonathan Scope to Milwaukee. But you don't see any real frontline can't miss prospects coming in return.
Not yet. We haven't seen them all, obviously, but yeah, Kevin Gausman was another one who has gone over to the National League, and he's a different pitcher.
Darren O'Day, Brad Brock, they all were traded away. DJ Stewart, the left fielder, takes a changeup downstairs. Stewart is 0 for 13. He has an RBI. Another changeup bounced in the dirt.
They have high hopes for Stewart also. DJ Stewart, he was their #1 pick 3 years ago, an outfielder, still looking for his first big league hit.
Sanchez missed badly with that fastball. 3 balls and a strike. We have seen this in the past. Andrew Cashner on the left and Ervis Solarte on the right. They were teammates in San Diego, and they have an ongoing banter each and every time these two teams play. So Stewart draws the 2-out walk.
They couldn't do anything last night because Solarte was playing in the game. So tonight he is not in there, so he's paying attention to his ex-teammates. Stewart gets a 2-out walk.
Pitchers, they have 4 off days every week. Dave Wilkerson hits the ground ball. Gurriel to Travis. That'll end the inning. 1 pitch to Wilkerson. The inning is over. A 2-out walk and nothing more. We'll go to the 3rd. Baltimore has a 1-0 lead.
and enter the code MBJ2837 to earn My Blue Jays points for watching the broadcast. The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage, and the code must be entered by 4 a.m. These Blue Jays will send Marco Estrada to the mound tomorrow to get the ball for the series finale. Sam Gaviglio, you'll see him there. He will start against Tampa on Thursday. When the Blue Jays return home, John Gibbons figured Sam could use one extra rest day. Guys?
So that'll be a 4-game series. It starts with Gaviglio on the mound on Thursday night. Blake Snell going for his 20th win tonight for Tampa Bay. Of course, there's a great game going on in New York, Boston and the Yankees. And the fly ball to center field. Mullins, the center fielder, moves over and he makes the catch. Dwight Smith is retired on the fly ball out.
You know, if you're a baseball fan, this is the best time of the year, isn't it? The last 2 weeks of the regular season, when pennant races are decided, you have some great matchups. Colorado and the Dodgers go at it tonight. The Cubs in Arizona. You mentioned the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. I mean, with a lot on the line.
A lot on line all over the place. Arizona Diamondbacks have lost 13 of 17. They've really fallen off the pace. They went from a 1.5 game lead to trailing by 5 in the division in a hurry.
Very, very much. They were leading. It was so tight.
Devin Travis with a clean single to right. That's the first base runner for the Blue Jays off Dylan Bundy. A 1-out single. Travis has that great right field stroke.
Yeah, you look at his distribution, where he hits the ball, and it's pretty even for a right-handed hitter. The ball away, he'll take it the other way. The ball in, he'll pull it if he has to. Travis has now 26 hits to right field and 25 hits to left field.
This is Reese McGuire, the catcher. McGuire is 4 for 13 in the early going. This is his 5th start behind the plate. Got a couple of doubles. He has an RBI. Picked up an RBI in the series against New York. Swinging a fly ball to center field. Mullins is there. Travis going back to tag. Here's the throw to second, and Travis is in there. Good aggressive base running by Devin Travis. Once he recognized Mullins was going to make the catch, he hustled back to first, and he moves up on the out.
You know, I think the Blue Jays have picked up that they want to run on Cedric Mullins, the center fielder. We saw it in last night's game. Blue Jays taking advantage of his arm and moving up a base, and Devin's going to do the same thing. That center fielder gets back by that warning track, and he's going to set up and make the catch. Go ahead and tag up. Read the throw. It's right in front of you. And he read that it was going to be a short hop, and he's able to get himself into scoring position.
Now they're going to appeal that he left early, and the umpire at second. That's his call. Jansen Visconti said he was safe and he did not leave early. So with 2 outs, back to the top of the order, Billy McKinney flied out to center. Devin Travis in scoring position. The Blue Jays trail by a run, 1-0. Mentioned McKinney's struggles on this road trip. Made an out his first time up. That extends his hitless streak for 0 for 19 on the road trip.
Feels like a lot of times he's getting himself out by being a little bit over aggressive. He said, my game is right back through the middle. I have to concentrate on hitting the ball back through the middle. Or think about hitting a line drive right over the shortstop's head. What that does is it keeps your front shoulder in there, and it keeps you back. Feels like he's trying to go out there and get the ball a little bit too quickly, and he's getting himself out.
Ground ball, 1 hopper to Valera. He throws to first, and that'll end the inning. So the Blue Jays leave a base runner in scoring position after 2.5. Baltimore has a 1-0 lead. staff and the Blue Jays have done a nice job of building a rotation through the draft, and all of these pitchers are very young, and some of them haven't even hit their prime yet.
All but Ryan Borucki were very high draft picks by the Blue Jays. Sanchez in 2010, Marcus was the #1 pick in 2012. Reed Foley, I believe, was a second-round draft pick, and Pearson was a first-round draft pick. So you got to hit on your #1 picks, and if they're pitchers, you really have to hit on them. Here's the problem sometimes when you pick pitchers like that. They don't develop, they get hurt, they stall out, they can't transition into pro baseball. The Blue Jays seem like they've done a pretty good job over the years of drafting a lot of pitchers and then getting them to the big leagues.
Yeah, it's about drafting first and foremost. You have to draft talented players, then it's development. You have to have a nice core of development people in the minor leagues. To Hopper for Gurriel. Caleb Joseph, the catcher, is thrown out one away.
You know, one thing that I've been impressed with over the last couple of seasons in the draft for the Blue Jays, and I haven't seen them all, but they're really emphasizing size on the pitchers that they're drafting and their mechanics. For a lot of years, teams will pick guys who throw the hardest, but if you look at their mechanics, that's just an arm injury waiting to happen. I think the Blue Jays have done a good job of recognizing pitchers who, through their mechanics, either using their lower half or their arm strength, but it's all smooth. I think that's when the arm injuries start to happen if you have bad mechanics. But every one of the pitchers that we just showed up there have good mechanics.
Yeah, very good sound deliveries, and it allows you to repeat your pitches. He's got a core of great instructors in the minor leagues. This is Cedric Mullins, who homered his first time up. And a home run to center field off Sanchez. It's the 13th home run the Orioles have hit against Sanchez. That's the most he has surrendered to one team. There's another fly ball to center. Grichuk is on the run at the track. He's got room. He makes the catch right up against the wall in front of the 410 sign. Mullins gave it a ride, but Sanchez was able to keep him in the big part of the field.
Young man is showing he's got a little pop. Didn't hit the ball very hard yesterday, right-handed against Ryan Borucki, but he switches over to the left side, gets another fastball from Aaron Sanchez, and sends Grichuk right to the wall, but it stays in the ballpark. They are excited about him. A leadoff hitter. And they think so much of his defense that Adam Jones has been pushed over to right field.
Yeah, and Jones is a free agent at the end of this year. His contract is up, so they want to get a look at Mullins, and Jones was very accommodating by sliding over to right field. He's a Gold Glove winner in center. Jonathan Villar playing shortstop tonight. He came over to the Orioles in the Jonathan Scope deal, sent Scope to the Brewers. Finish up the thoughts about the development. When you look at the minor leagues, Jeff Ware is the pitching coordinator in the minor leagues. We've got Daryl Knowles and Rick Langford, a couple of veteran former pitchers down in the minors. Knowles is a rehab coordinator. Rick Langford is also kind of a special assistant. Yeah, we talked to Sean Reed Foley about Rick Langford today. He sung his praises about helping Reed Foley develop that slider. Bob Stanley, the pitching coach in AAA, Vince Horsman. We have talked about some of these youngsters that have come up, talking about how much their pitching coaches in the minors have helped them, and Stanley and Horsman have done a great job.
Yeah, all of those guys you mentioned do a great job of developing these young pitchers now at the major league level, and there's a lot more coming. So be ready. Something else to be ready for, I think, if you're the Blue Jays, is Jonathan Villar at first base after that 2-out walk.
Stole a couple bases last night. Villar 14 for 16 with the Orioles, and he's stretched out his lead. Sanchez unloads in a hurry. Not much of a chance for Villar to steal that.
Yeah, he's going to have to do a good job, Aaron, in varying his deliveries to home plate. Maybe you hold one now a little bit longer and see if that runner gets a little tight out there. You might quick pitch him. He might have to throw him a few more fastballs, Adam Jones. ball gets there a little bit quicker and gives Reese McGuire a chance to throw him out if he does try and steal.
Breaking ball. I don't think you want to change your approach to a hitter just because of runners at first base. You better focus on Adam Jones and trying to get him out. Ball and a strike to Jones.
Two strikes now. Be ready. He might take off over at first base now.
VR for the season combined, Milwaukee and the Orioles. He's got 28 steals, been caught just 4 times. So you would think he's going to gamble here with Jones behind 1-2. The ball gets away, but it may have hit VR in the back, and that's why he's not popping up to his feet. I could hit him right in the back of the ribs. It's going to take a while to catch his breath.
It'll take your breath away. Let's see where it hits him. Sanchez is aware of him over there. Yeah, he hits him right in the back. With his speed, he had a shot to possibly move up. And that took his breath away.
Yeah, it sure did. He wasn't thinking about going to second at all. He just laid there and said, I got to regroup now. Now I would throw over if I was Eric Sanchez. VR's anxious to steal it. There he goes. Breaking ball hit foul. Boy, he got a good jump that time.
What a big lead and a big read of the pitcher.
You just got to know a base stealing like VR after he gets hit in the ribs. He's thinking, I'm going to get some payback here. Somebody's going to pay for that. He was off on the pitch. I mean, he got a great jump off Sanchez. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Orioles have a 1-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Game 2 of this 3-game series. There he goes. Popped up down the right side. Long run for McKinney, but it's into the seats out of play.
And with 2 strikes, it's too close to take. Adam Jones has to swing, but VR both times got a great jump. He might take a pitch off here just to catch his breath.
Got a short lead now. Yeah, he just trying to catch his breath, as you mentioned, Pat.
It didn't look like he was going to go, did it? He's been inching out when Aaron comes to a set position. He's inched out just a little bit more. Aaron goes to the stretch. Now here he's starting to get out there. He's going now.
McGuire from his knees. The throw is to the shortstop side of second, and VR has another stolen base. His 3rd of the series, his 29th of the season.
Another big jump. It looked like a changeup that was down. No chance for the Blue Jays to throw him out. VR had a season just a few years ago. I believe he had like 60 stolen bases when he was with Milwaukee. 62. And you can see why. Very aggressively gets into second base.
He led the National League with 62 steals in 2016 for the Brewers. He was caught 18 times. Jones with a ground ball to 3rd. Diaz has a strong arm. No problem at all. So Sanchez gets out of it. He gives up a walk, a stolen base, and the Orioles leave a runner in scoring position after 3. Baltimore still has a 1-0 lead.
over the last month or so. Gurriel, Urania, Baraki, among the names that Gibbons brought up this week, the names that intrigue him, which then prompted Gibbons to say this earlier today when some of those kids were referenced. The manager said, quote, "I get tired of that talk, hearing our minor league system got depleted. We have good baseball people working down there. Now our guys are here. It showed we traded away the right guys and kept the right guys." So as this rebuild goes on, Gibbons likes what he's seeing from the newer big leaguers, thanks in part to the tutelage, Buck, of some of the names you talked about an inning ago.
Yeah, they're doing a good job down there. Kim has done a nice job as the minor league coordinator. Eric Wedge is down there as part of that group of instructors and directors, but they're doing a good job. And the thing that has impressed me was the way these kids have come up here and fit right in with his team. There's a bullet into center field off the bat of Gurriel. Mullins plays it back in a leadoff single. But you know what? All the minor league instructors, the managers, the coaches, the positional coaches, they take a lot of pride in finishing off these kids and sending them to the big leagues, knowing that they will represent them well. Bobby Meacham, the AAA manager at Buffalo, of course, is here with the team. But you know what? When they're playing during the course of the summer, they know some of these kids are going to come to the big leagues, and when they do, they're going to reflect what they learned from the managers and coaches in the minors.
It's their greatest satisfaction. It's why they're in it. They love the game of baseball, but they're in it to watch these kids get to the big leagues and then succeed. And you talk to some of the young players that have come up here, and every one of them, they have a mentor or a coach or somebody who have helped them in the minor leagues to get where they are today.
Big swing and a miss by Smoke. Jonathan Davis has done a nice job since coming up here. Got his first big league hit off David Price in Boston. You know, these two teams, their AAA affiliates, are in the same league, so I'm sure there are a lot of players that have played against each other coming through the system. So they can see how they match up and how they compare to their opponents. They've watched them play throughout the minor leagues, and now they're getting to play against one another in the big leagues. Smoke got a pitch to hit and fouled it straight back.
Boy, did he ever. That was a fastball, middle, right down the middle. Somehow he missed it. Couldn't put it on a tee better than this. They wanted to go up and in, and that is right down Broadway. Somehow he missed it.
Remember that great conversation we had with Joe Torre in New York? We were asking him about hitting 363, winning a batting title. He said, "I never fouled the ball back." When you get a pitch to hit, you got to hit it.
That's right, and that was a pitch to hit right there. He also said, "I hit 363. It felt like the ball came in and stopped in front of home plate for me all year long."
And then he told us he did the same thing the next year, and it didn't work. Just one of those years. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Justin Smoke with Gurriel at first. Pretty good changeup there. Smoke strikes out. 3 strikeouts for Bundy so far.
The 2018 Honda CR-V, where style and versatility come together.
Dylan Bundy throwing a lot of strikes early in this game, only 9 balls so far.
He's coming off a pretty good outing the last time out. That was against Oakland, hard-hitting A's. He won that game, pitched 6 innings, just gave up 2 earned runs, had 8 strikeouts against Oakland. So maybe he has turned the corner. There was a time in July and August where he couldn't get anybody out.
There goes the runner. Throw from Joseph is a good one, and Gurriel is safe. The second baseman, Valera, immediately looked to the dugout and put the headset sign up, said, "Hey, you got to check that one," because he felt like he had tagged Gurriel.
The throw looked like it beat him, but it was starting to fade to the inside. Caleb Joseph does a good job of throwing out base runners. 33% of the base runners trying to steal against him have been thrown out. It looked like he got him on the shoulder and on the leg. There's the shoulder and there's the leg, all before he got there. I think the Orioles are going to get this one overturned.
Jansen Visconti is not in a very good position to make the call. Look where the umpire is. He's getting totally blocked out as far as when Gurriel makes contact with the base and where the tag is applied. He gets him in the shoulder. Not even close.
And then in the leg when he comes through, and he's still not on the bag. So that's an easy call for the umpire.
Yeah, it didn't take him long to call him out. So the call on the field is overturned. The Orioles would maintain their challenge. But Valera came off the bag immediately, said, yeah, I got him. And the video backed him up. Buck Showalter said, I wonder how they could miss a call by that much.
Twice. Caleb Joseph does a good job. That's the 19th base runner he has caught stealing this year. Comes at a good time for the Orioles.
Well, Randall Grichuk now with a 2-1 count. Bats with 2 outs. Waves at that breaking ball. Another breaking ball, another strikeout. 4 strikeouts for Monday. Caught stealing in a couple of strikeouts. Nothing doing for the Blue Jays.
MLB Ballpark app. You can access and manage your tickets, enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Heck of a ballpark race in Denver and LA. The Rockies and the Dodgers going after it. There was a report that Trevor Story may have a UCL tear, but now the latest report, it doesn't appear to be structural damage with Story's elbow. They hope it's just muscular down there in Colorado, Buck.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. He made a throw and a terrific play up the middle, and then later on in the game he took an awkward swing and left the game in the middle of that at bat. This is high and deep to left field. Long to run for Dwight Smith, and he's not going to get there. Off the wall. Mancini's headed around third. He's going for third. Here's the throw to third. He is safe. Diaz could not handle the one-hop throw, and Trey Mancini ends up at third. His second triple of the season, a leadoff triple here in the fourth.
He's a career .313 hitter against the Blue Jays with 5 home runs, and he came very close to getting number 6. Right down the line for Mancini. Mancini's going to turn a double into a triple because the outfielder gets a little bit too close to the wall trying to make this catch. Like sometimes you just have to concede the double and keep him from going to third base, but Mancini goes all the way to third base, a leadoff triple. Watch how the outfielder, Dwight Smith, gets too close and then overruns the ball. It ricochets off the wall. And by the time he could run it down, Mancini turns it into a triple.
Smith was really over in the power alley in left center, playing way off the line. He had a long run. Mancini's at third with nobody out. Chris Davis. Nice block by McGuire. That ball hit him. And curveball hit Davis, and then McGuire was still able to block the ball, but the ball is dead once Davis gets hit, so he'll go to first. So Sanchez has walked you. Now he's hit a batter.
Hard breaking ball. They want to try and go for the strikeout. And it looked like it hit Davis right on the top of the foot.
First and third. Breivik Valera, the second baseman, takes one inside. Grounded out to second base his first time up. Blue Jays will concede a run on a ground ball. They'll take two. Ball hit up the middle. Diaz at third is even with the bag. There's a little fly ball into shallow center. Grichuk is there. He makes the catch. Mancini's tagging. Here's the throw to the plate. It's a strong throw and a good tag, but McGuire blocked him off the base. He did a great job, and the position was terrific, as that throw took him right into the baseline to take the tag.
Looked like the ball popped out of his glove. Yeah, Buck Showalter saying, hold on just a second. You got to see, though, if he made it to the plate. Did he block him off the plate? Short fly ball to center field. Grichuk does a good job of getting himself set and throws a strike to the plate. Rowdy Tellez lets the ball go. One hop. There's the ball on the dirt. And then he goes and tags him. The umpire calls him out.
What a good play by McGuire. He gave the base runner a lane to slide in. And now Buck Showalter is going to come out and argue that point. But there's the baseline, and now the ball takes him into the baseline, and he's able to block the plate. The question is, Mancini, did he ever get home plate with his hand?
It looked like the hand got the plate as he swiped by. McGuire looked like he was trying to block him off. Watch the left leg go down to block. For that one shot, the left hand of Mancini looked like it might have got the plate. Right here. This angle right here. Does he touch the plate?
Looks like he's on the plate there. Interesting play. Grichuk made a strong throw. McGuire received the ball. It took him right into the base path. And once he catches the ball, he can block home plate.
And he did it. It was a textbook block of home plate, wasn't it?
It was perfect, except he dropped the ball. But then it still looked like there was a chance he could ride the base runner off home plate. But Mancini got his hand on it. It'll be interesting to see if they have the same angle we have. They should be able to see that the hand hit home plate as he was sliding past. But McGuire never really caught the ball initially.
There's the lane, and now the throw takes him into it. He can block the plate right now, which he does, but it looks like to me like the left hand scraped across the plate. The umpire couldn't tell because he was blocked off by the runner and the catcher. But this is what replay is for, to tell you from that angle. It looked like he might have got his fingernails on the plate.
They have their decision, Larry Vanover. They call him safe, and that is the right call. And they're going to keep the base runner first. John Gibbons wants to hear the decision from New York. Why was he called safe? And Vanover all he has to say was his hand hit the home plate before the ball got there. It wasn't a matter of the ball being dropped or anything. He just beat the tag. So Mancini scores. Sac fly for Valera. RBI for the second baseman. Grichuk made a strong throw. So it's 2-0 Baltimore, just one out. Chris Davis is still at first. DJ Stewart walked his first time up. Ball in the dirt. 1-1. Oh, yeah, it's got a single run in the bottom of the first on a home run by Cedric Mullins. They have scored a run here in the bottom of the fourth. Sac fly by Breivik Valera.
Extra 90 feet inside of an inning can cost you run. It looked like Mancini had a double. But when the ball ricocheted away from Dwight Smith out in the outfield, he was able to make it to third base and score on that short sacrifice fly. If he concedes the double, leaves him at second base, it's still first and second and 1 out. No run score.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Line drive, base hit to right field. Chris Davis is around second. He's headed for third. The ball will be off the glove of Gurriel, and now Davis is headed for home. Sanchez throw to home is by the catcher. Now Stewart is on its way to third, and he's going to come in to score.
That should be 2 bases.
The ball goes into the dugout, and
he's going to
come all the way around.
Boy, a lot happened on that play. The number one thing, that is DJ Stewart's first major league hit. That's number one as he rifled that ball into the outfield. Orioles trying to go first to third on that long single. There's the first big league hit of DJ Stewart's career. They are in the shift. So going first to third baseman's got to hustle back over there, which he does, but the ball gets away. It's off the glove of Gurriel. They send the runner, and then here's the 2 bases right here. Because the runner was at second base and it's thrown out of play, it's 2 bases.
So it's a base hit for DJ Stewart. 2 errors are charged on the play. Billy McKinney will pick up the error on the initial throw, and then Sanchez will be charged with an error as well, as he was backing up the play, and from left field he made a throw, a strong throw, but it was into the base runner, got past McGuire and went out of play. So Davis, he really forced everything by being aggressive on the bases. He went first to third. He's a good base runner.
Yeah, I think he realized the Blue Jays were in that shift, and it was a foot race between him and Diaz, who had shifted over. On that replay, Ledmus initially took a couple of steps towards second base on the base hit to right field, and then had to hustle back, and he was there. It's just the throw was off the glove of Gurriel. There's the base hit into right field. McKinney's going to try and get him. It's off the glove of Gurriel. A heads-up play by Bobby Dickerson, the third base coach, to wave that runner home.
So it's 4-0. 2 runs come in on that play as Davis came in on the air, and then DJ Stewart scored from second once the ball went into the camera well, out of play. Jose Fernandez loosening up. Steve Wilkerson takes ball 4. That's the 3rd walk issued by Sanchez. McGuire out to the mound. Been an interesting inning. Mancini had the leadoff triple. Chris Davis got hit by a pitch, a short side fly to center field. And then DJ Stewart picked up his first big league hit, a single to right field, and then the Blue Jays threw it all over the place. 3 runs in this inning. Here's the catcher, Caleb Joseph, still just 1 out. Joseph grounded out to shortstop, his only time up. Joseph was very critical and emotional after the loss last night. It tied a franchise record for the most losses in a single season, 107. And he was asked after the game his thoughts about it. He said, we should all be embarrassed, top to bottom, everyone in the organization. There goes the base runner. Hit and run is on. Ground ball to third. Diaz will throw out Joseph. The runner moves up to second. Now there are 2 outs.
You know, and I couldn't agree more with the, you know, it's nice and it's refreshing, I think, to hear a player basically tell it the way it is. They've had a bad year. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it, to say, well, you know, we got this and we got that. They've had a bad year.
Historically bad. And they are only 4 losses from tying the overall franchise record. This organization began in St. Louis as the St. Louis Browns. They lost 111 games. 2 outs now. Runner in scoring position is Steve Wilkerson. And here's Cedric Mullins, the leadoff man. Hernandez has been joined by Jake Petrichka now in the Blue Jays bullpen. Sanchez hasn't had the same velocity nor command of his fastball that we have seen lately. His start in Boston, he was very good, had a good fastball upwards of 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, worked very quickly and really handled one of the better hitting teams in the American League. They were not picking up his breaking ball because he was throwing it around the plate, not close enough. Tonight, it just doesn't look like he's been able to drop that curveball in there when he needs to.
Ball got away from him. May have been that changeup. 3-1 now with 2 outs. Blue Jays have pitchers ready in the bullpen. John Villar, a switch hitter, is on deck. 4-0 Baltimore. There's a strike. It's a full count. Blue Jays are facing the lineup for the 3rd time. Sanchez has had his problems facing a batting order 3 times. 314 average. It jumps from 279. Chopped off home plate, foul. Aaron's thrown 76 pitches, and it's been kind of a battle. He has walked 3. He's hit about.
Defense has kicked it around a little bit on him, cost him some extra bases and some runs.
High fly ball into center. Shouldn't be a problem for Pritchett. He is there waiting for it, and the inning is over. But the Orioles scored 3 runs. They take a 4-0 lead as we head to the 5th. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell with Joe Siddle and Kevin Barker in the Samsung broadcast studio. You could have some afternoon baseball tomorrow as the Cardinals are in Atlanta to take on the Braves. It all starts at 12 noon Eastern Time at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on Sportsnet 1. Atlanta has a 6.5 game lead in the NL East, and the Cardinals, they are right in that wild card hunt. Interesting thing about Atlanta, they have the worst home record of playoff contending ball clubs in the majors. They have not played well at home. Their home record going into action tonight, 38-37. It's hard to fathom, but they haven't played well at home.
They're a good team, though, and that's going to be a great game. St. Louis, if the season ended today, would be the other wild card team by a half a game over Colorado. It'd be Milwaukee and St. Louis.
Good pitching matchup in that game tomorrow. Jack Flaherty, the rookie right-hander for Cardinals, and Chucky Toussaint, the youngster, is on the mound for Atlanta. Patty Tellez grounds out to the first baseman, first out here in the 5th inning. And let's take a look at the rest of the National League playoff picture. Atlanta, Chicago, and the Dodgers, they have the division leads as we speak. Milwaukee has a 3-game cushion over the Cardinals, who have leapfrogged over the Rockies. Of course, the Dodgers and Rockies will play later on tonight in LA. And it's been a great pennant race in the National League West.
3 teams jockeying for the ability to win that division. Dodgers leading it by a half a game as we speak now. We mentioned Arizona's fallen off just a little bit. They're 5 games back.
As I said, Arizona lost 13 of the last 17 games. Tonight, the Rockies are in Dodger Stadium. Clayton Kershaw goes to the mound for LA against Kyle Freeland. Freeland's 15-7. Lemus Diaz goes after that fastball. 2 balls and a strike to the third baseman. Diaz coming into this game hit .342 in his previous 14 games. Pulls this one. That's a fair ball. Past the third baseman, down the left field line. Diaz is around first. He's headed for second, and he will get there with a stand-up double.
Yeah, he's been swinging a hot bat since the All-Star break, and I like all the extra base hits that are coming off of his bat. If you throw the ball away from him, he's been able to hit the ball hard the other way. If you throw the ball in, like they do there, as he misses his spot once again, Bundy, and he rips it down the line, just over the bag, down the left field line, extra bases again for Diaz.
His 24th double of the season. As we said, he's established a new career high in home runs with 18. He's now just 4 doubles behind his career high he set also in 2016 with the Cardinals. Dwight Smith Jr. First pitch changeup. He's out in front.
The last 2 times the Blue Jays have faced Dylan Bundy, they've hit 3 home runs against him in each game. So because of that, I don't think they're ever out of any game. Blue Jays have had 24 games this year where they've hit at least 3 home runs.
They have hit 34 home runs against the Orioles this season. That's the most they've ever hit against one club in one season. They've actually hit 34 home runs against the Orioles twice in a season, this year and in 2010. They also had 34 home runs.
So you get a couple of guys on, and maybe he starts to walk some people, and then you pop one. You're right back in this game. It's only 4-0.
Fair ball down the right field line. Diaz is around third. He's going to score. Dwight Smith Jr. is headed for second. He'll get there. Back-to-back doubles with 1 out here in the 5th, and the Blue Jays are on the board.
Can't place either ball any better than those 2 hitters just did. Diaz just over the bag down the left field line, and then Dwight Smith stayed back just long enough on that changeup to hit it over the bag down the right field line. Another changeup from Dylan Bundy. Dwight, who's a good hitter, keeps those hands back long enough just to keep it fair. Right out of the reach of Mancini, right over the bag for extra bases.
So the Blue Jays are on the board. They've matched the Orioles now in hits. Each team has 4 hits. Diaz comes in to score. Devin Travis ripped a single to right field his first time up. Goes after the first pitch and lifts a pop-up. On the right field line, Mancini into foul territory. Makes the catch, 2 away. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Yeah, it's quite a matchup. The Red Sox, if they beat the Yankees tonight, will clinch the AL East division. As Jay Happ goes up against Nathan Eovaldi. The Yankees have won 7 of the Happ 8 starts since he's joined the team. He's pitched very well for them. He's gone 6-0 individually since joining the Yankees. Reese McGuire with 2 outs. A little bit more on Happ. He's 4-1 against Boston his last 10 starts, but you remember this game back in July at Fenway Park. The Red Sox jumped on him for 5 runs in 3 2/3. So most recent start he's had against Boston coming into tonight. Off the end of the bat, cued at the shortstop. McGuire's retired. Blue Jays will score a run, but they leave a man on. Well, the bottom of the 5th, Orioles still have a 4-1 lead. He gave up a leadoff home run to Cedric Mullins in the first. He goes 4 innings, gives up 4 hits, 2 earned runs. He walked 3 and struck out 1 batter. He also hit a batter through 77 pitches over 4 innings, and he leaves trailing 4-1. Now it's over to the bullpen. Jake Petrichka, the first up for Toronto.
Here are the numbers for Jake. 35 games this season, 2-1, 513 earned run average. Last time he worked was in that Yankees series 3 days ago. He got touched up for a home run by Didi Gregorius. All told, opponents hitting .315 against Jake. But he's averaging almost a strikeout per inning, throwing a lot harder since he's come back from the minor leagues a couple of times this season.
Petrichka has been back and forth on the Buffalo shuttle. He was called up initially on the 4th of May, sent back, then came back on the 8th of May. Also called up late in June and on the 4th of September. But he's an intriguing guy. He's got a good fastball with a lot of late movement. He had off-season elbow surgery, had a nerve in his elbow moved, and had some cleanup in his elbow. A 2-hopper to Gurriel, the shortstop. He unloads quickly. 1 out. Let's check in again with Jamie Campbell. Ronald Acuna Jr. went 3 for 5 last night. He came into this game tonight with a 1.099 OPS since the All-Star break. That's the 4th best in baseball, behind Trout, Turner, and Christian Yelich. And he's just 20. Terrific player.
Wow. Rookie of the year.
He got a shot. He didn't get called up until the season was underway, but boy, since they've moved him to the leadoff spot, he has really taken off. I mentioned they need to win that game. Atlanta's been in the skids. They haven't been able to score much lately. The Cardinals have won the last 7 games they've played in Atlanta. They have owned the Braves at home. And the Cardinals themselves, they've scored 296 runs since the All-Star break.
Did you happen to see the game last night between those two? After our game, we got a chance to watch the last few innings. The Cardinals, they were hitting some bombs last night. I believe they went deep 4 times.
Yadi Molina hit one into the bullpen in right center. Cardinals 35 and 22 since the All-Star break, best in the National League. As I mentioned, Atlanta 38-37 at home. That's the worst home record for any playoff contender in all of baseball. Generally, you think that's where they really make their hay.
Well, they got a chance tonight.
Adam Jones behind 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt.
But Chichka will take that fastball and run it in on right-handers. He's got a lot of arm side run to his fastball, but now and then he'll spin a good breaking ball, get you to chase it off the plate. He's got to power up that fastball at times. They'll do a little doctoring of the mound. Wasn't real happy, real pleased with his landing on that last pitch.
Ground ball up the middle. Gurriel knocks it down, but that'll be a base hit for Adam Jones. An infield single for Jones, his second hit of the night.
Gurriel's done a good job at shortstop since they put him over there and made him their everyday shortstop. He has caught everything in sight, and he almost comes up with this 2-hopper. If it sticks in his glove, he's got enough arm strength. I think he comes up and throws the runner out over at first base, but it just looks like it popped out of his glove after he hit the ground. This guy keeps getting better every day. If you watch him every day at shortstop.
Gurriel has really become the everyday shortstop. You don't expect him to play anywhere other than shortstop, and the Blue Jays have gotten a real good look at him. Trey Mancini, he led off the 4th inning with a triple in, came around to score the second Orioles run of the night. Ground ball, Gurriel is short, backhands, second for 1, back to first, double play. It's exactly what you were talking about. Lourdes Gurriel looking more like a big league shortstop every single day. The double play ends the inning. Go to the 6th. this year. There are a lot of rookies sprinkled up and down the order. Billy McKinney and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. will lead this inning off. But Pat, overall, we've had a lot of rookies come up, and a lot of them made real strong impressions.
You know, and you and I had a chance to talk to a couple of those rookies today, and we were asking what's the biggest factor about September baseball for you, and they kept saying getting acclimated to the major leagues, playing in front of big crowds in big stadiums. Everything is different, just the way of life as a big leaguer. All of those kids were saying that today, that it's an adjustment period in starting to believe in themselves, starting to feel comfortable, starting to say, hey, you know what, I can do that here. And some of these guys have impressed.
Yes, they have, and they're certainly making impressions for next season. Anthony Alford on the left, Jonathan Davis on the right. They are brothers-in-law, if you didn't know it. And they have married sisters. And they're good friends. Popped up. That's going to be over the screen out of
You know, one thing we have talked about it. You and I have talked about it. Don't get fooled by what people do in spring training, and don't get fooled by what they do in September. So what we're seeing is not necessarily success or failure. I think it's just guys getting acclimated to the big leagues and getting a feel for what playing in the major leagues is all about. Sean Reed Foley was telling us today about being in Yankee Stadium, how he's never duplicated that anywhere. In any place that he's ever played, he's never been in front of that type of crowd. How do you replicate that? So I think it's more about getting your feet wet and getting a feel for what it's like to play Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and I think, too, it's pretty special that they've all come up together as a group. And they grew up through the minor league system together. They have developed friendships, and now they're experiencing the big leagues together for the first time. That's invaluable. I mean, you can imagine their conversations they're going to have during the course of the winter. Man, you remember when we went into Fenway Park? There's a base knock for Billy McKinney. He hustles around first. He'll stop right there. Jones fires it back into the infield, and for Billy McKinney, his first hit of the night. Talk about rookies and how many the Blue Jays have used this season. They've used 24 rookies overall this season. That's the most all-time, 5 more than they used last year. And then you got to go back to 2002. There have been 12 players on the Blue Jays make their major league debut this season. Some of them got a little bit of time before, but today, this season has been a special season for exposing the players to the majors.
The turnover has begun, and some of them will pan out. Some of them will turn out to be good players. Some of them, it might take a little bit longer to get used to the major league level, but I'll tell you what, you got to play. You got to see who can do it and who can't.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has a hit. 1 for 2 so far. That single by McKinney snaps an 0 for 20. And it was a clean single to right. He's getting back on track.
Yeah, he's an upbeat guy who loves to play baseball. He's just a baseball junkie. And he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was trying to do to get hits. And can't keep him down.
Pitch out. Don't see many of those anymore. Blue Jays don't run very often. Billy McKinney doesn't have a steal attempt this season. Blue Jays trying to hit and run back in the 4th inning, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. was thrown out. Initially called safe. The ruling was overturned on video review. Gurriel had that follow through, and it caught Caleb Joseph, not sure where, but it looked like it might have been on the hand or the arm.
The backswing from Gurriel on that inside pitch. Ooh, right on the wrist.
You can see he had to reach inside to catch the ball, and when Gurriel swung through the breaking ball, he had a big wild backswing, and it caught Joseph on the left forearm.
Not a real big lead over there at first base. Doesn't suggest that McKinney's going to try and steal. But the Orioles think something's up. They might start that runner. In
Not
their
going
minds.
here. Gurriel bunts it. Bundy makes a nice play, but double clutched, and they call him out at first. Bundy's a very good athlete, but he stumbled a little bit and looked like it was going to be a chance for Gurriel to beat it out. But Bundy made a strong throw to first.
Did you see how he kept his feet moving, Bundy, when he went over there to make that play? You got to keep your feet moving, keep chopping your feet to get yourself under control. Heads up play by Gurriel. But watch Bundy, keeps the feet moving, gets the ball out of his glove and fires over to first base to get the out. If that ball gets by Bundy, that's a base hit. But a heads up play and a heck of a play to get the first down.
Bundy actually re-gripped the baseball in his glove as well. Still made a strong throw. Gurriel's credited with a sacrifice bunt. No at bat, ball in the dirt. McKinney's going to move up. Well, good job by Billy McKinney. He saw that ball get away from Joseph. He broke immediately for third and he moves up. That's a big 90 feet. He's there now with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, don't you think Justin Smoke appreciates that? Curveball in the dirt. You can see the flight from second base. He gets a good secondary lead, and it's not a very far wild pitch, but because he was heads up and he broke immediately, he is able to move up, get into scoring position on a long fly ball now.
The sacrifice bunt by Gurriel is just the 5th for the Blue Jays all season long. There's no doubt in my mind he was bunting for a base hit, but he's credited with a sac bunt. Hit hard, and that's going to score a run. Smoke will pick up an RBI because of the good base running by Billy McKinney. McKinney advanced on the wild pitch and scores on the ground out. It's a 4-2 ball game now. Good job by McKinney. Not only did he snap his 0 for 20, but he did a good job advancing on the wild pitch.
Yeah, he got that run all by himself with a little help from Gurriel's bunt to get him in the scoring position. Reads the ball in the dirt. I mean, he'd be standing over at third base if he doesn't advance on that short wild pitch. Smokey will pick up RBI number 76 thanks to the good base running.
Randal Grichuk is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. It's now a 4-2 ball game. Top of the 6th inning. The Blue Jays won the game last night 5-0. They shut out the Orioles. The Orioles coming in this game had been shut out 15 times this season. They made sure that didn't happen tonight in the 1st inning. Cedric Mullins hit a leadoff home run for the Orioles in the bottom of the 1st.
15 times they've been shut out. That's not even the lead, is it, in Major League Baseball?
Tigers have been shut out 17 times. Pittsburgh 15 times. That's a lot of overs. Grichuk called out on strikes. That'll end the inning. But the Blue Jays manufacture a run. Base hit, sac fly, wild pitch, and everybody moves up. It's a 2-run game now.
1,000 fans on Saturday will receive these Blue Jays convertible mittens. That's a 4 o'clock start when the Rays come to town. BlueJays.com for tickets.
Thank you very much, Arash, and hopefully we won't need those mittens for another couple of months, but it's a nice giveaway and a nice fan appreciation weekend. Tampa Bay and then the Houston Astros will be in town for the final homestand of the season. Chris Davis makes a first pitch outside for a ball. Jake Petrichka in his second inning of relief. Fouled straight back to the screen.
He gets under those balls. That ball is right down the middle. Fastball right down the middle, and he got underneath that. Fouled it straight back. When he's going well, he's catching that ball out in front.
Looked like a swing, and Hunter Wendelstedt down at third agrees. Trying to check his swing on that hard slider. It is absolutely confusing how Chris Davis has fallen so far from where he was. I mean, obviously the Orioles have been trying to figure out that all season long, and Davis, I'm sure, has racked his brain over and over again trying to figure out what's different. This guy led the American League in home runs 2 years.
One for his last 26. I think it all starts with his front side. Just watching him, it looks like he really collapses that front side. The back shoulder goes down, and he tries to clear everything by opening up his shoulder too fast, and that's going to take your head off the ball.
Scott Kubar is a hitting coach here, and you can bet he's been racking his brain trying to figure out what's wrong. McGuire puts the tag on Davis, and he is out. Another strikeout.
Take on any project with Home Hardware, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's how.
Beautiful evening. That is Utah Street beyond the fence in right field. Jose Fernandez was up earlier in the game. He's standing by if needed. The hitter is Valera, a switch hitter. Breivik Valera is the second baseman. Behind him is a left-handed batter, DJ Stewart. Just foul outside the first. Valera had the sac fly in the fourth inning. That led to a video review. Initially, Trey Mancini was called out at home plate. They went to the review, and the video showed that his hand had touched home plate before he slid past it. Catcher Reese McGuire dropped the ball, put the tag on him. Umpire called him out, but it was overturned.
Couple of video reviews already, and had a couple of errors on one play back in the fourth inning.
Strike three called. Good fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Petrichka here in the sixth.
Boy, with the type of movement that he gets on that fastball, and he's throwing a heck of a lot harder now than he did when he first came up here. Look at the movement. That almost looks like a left-handed slider to a left-handed batter at 98 miles an hour. Just powers it right by the batter for the strikeout. He wasn't throwing hard when he started this year because of injuries. Arm injuries, he had some hip injuries earlier in his career. But since he's come back, I think it was the second time, maybe even the third time, he said he made a slight adjustment when he was down in AAA, turned his body a little bit more before he delivered the pitch to get his legs involved. Since he's come back, I mean, that fastball is really topped out in the high 90s.
Wow, that hit him right on the back foot, and that hit him flush. DJ Stewart down in a heap. That breaking ball kept tracking inside, and he just couldn't get out of the way.
Yeah, he wanted to overthrow that one and try and get a strike. But when you overthrow it, and you try to put a little something else on it, your delivery gets out of whack right on the big toe.
Wow. That hurts. I'm telling you, from experience, that hurts. You just get hit right on that big toe. And he's at first with 2 outs. Steve Wilkerson, the third baseman. There goes the runner. McGuire's throw is quick one on the money, and they call him safe. So Stewart picks up his first big league stolen base. He's also had his first big league hit tonight.
That big toe's not hurting that much. If he can take off on that first pitch. Watch how quickly McGuire gets it out there. If it was a little bit lower, I think he has him. They have to tag him up around the elbow area. There's the hand on the base and the tag on the elbow.
You can see the conversation between Stewart and Travis. They're both Florida State Seminoles. Are we talking about this past weekend's football game? Oh, and 2 now. Now the Orioles with 2 more stolen bases tonight. VR stole a base in the third. Stewart picks up his first major league stolen base. They also caught Adam Jones in the first. McGuire threw out Jones to end the bottom of the first inning. Strike 3 call. Boy, there's a lot of late movement. 97 miles an hour. Petrichka gets Wilkerson to end the inning. He strikes out 3 in the inning, and watch the movement on this fastball. Off the plate, back over the corner. Strike 3 call. Is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. And then Miss Diaz picks up a double right down the line, and looks like the funnel cakes are good here at Oriole Park in Camden Yards. That young lady certainly thinks so. You see the uniforms for the Orioles. The Orioles is spelled out in Braille, as the Orioles and the National Federation of the Blind have moved together to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Federation setting up office here in Baltimore. So the name on the front and the names on the back are in Braille to acknowledge the 40th anniversary. The Braille lettering on both the Orioles name and the player's name. They become the first team in American professional sports history to incorporate Braille lettering into the game day uniforms.
And it came about to raise awareness for the National Federation of the Blind and the services they provide here in Baltimore and throughout the country.
The organization was founded in 1940, and they have affiliates in all 50 states, District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico. Rowdy Tellez swings and misses at that changeup. Tellez, making his second straight start at first base, has gone 0 for 2 so far. Ground ball towards shortstop. Wilkerson will have to hurry, and Tellez legs it out. An infield hit for Rowdy Tellez. That's how you keep your average up.
Yeah, get those infield hits. They were pulled around in that position, and Wilkerson, the third baseman, just can't get enough on that throw. He was out at shortstop. They shifted against him right off the end of the bat, hustle down, put your head down and just run as hard as you can at the front of that bag, and it's rewarded a base hit. Wilkerson made a nice play. He just couldn't get much on that throw.
Wilkerson, the third baseman, was over near shortstop. Ledmus Diaz doubled and scored his last time up. A high slider. The double for Diaz, his 24th of the season. That one over the screen. Diaz is now 28 years old. He just turned 28 on the 1st of August. He, like Gurriel and Morales, is from Cuba. Gets jammed and fights it off.
Yeah, it was a little bit late on that fastball. I mean, the Blue Jays, we were talking about that earlier, just hang around, hang around. Dylan Bundy has given up his share of home runs this year. Now you got a chance to tie the ball game up with one swing.
Fights off that breaking ball. Diaz was an all-star in 2016, his rookie season, one of 3 shortstops on the National League All-Star team. Addison Russell was the starter. Ledmus Diaz and Corey Seager were the backup shortstops. Pretty good company. Inside, just off the plate. Diaz had a pinch hitting at bat and struck out. His only at bat of the ball game. Finished up the game playing shortstop. 2-2 pitch. Base hit off the glove of Wilkerson. Hot shot. Second hit of the night for Diaz. Tellez goes to second.
I think the Blue Jays are starting to time up Dylan Bundy, and got a pretty good idea now, third time through the lineup, what they can do against him. First 2 reach here in the 7th inning. This is a bullet off the bat of Diaz. Would have been an unbelievable play if Wilkerson can come up with it, but it'll go as a hit. Blue Jays get the first 2 runners on here in the 7th.
Got to take advantage of it. Still no action in the Orioles bullpen. Dwight Smith Jr. had an RBI double his last time up. Double down the right field line. Drove in Ledmus Diaz. High breaking ball. Smith Jr. just looks like one of those guys that might hit better in the big leagues than he's hit in the minors.
He's done okay in the minor leagues. He hasn't put up like ungodly numbers, but he doesn't look overmatched here in the big leagues.
Now, he's got a very exaggerated leg kick, but he times it up pretty well. We haven't seen him in his short period of time in the big leagues get overmatched.
Not at all. And he's had very competitive at bats. He has really made that pitcher work, and right now he is in the driver's seat.
Now the Orioles bullpen really starting to stir. Everybody down there moving around. Of course, they got a full house down there, just like the Blue Jays. from Showalter. At this point of the ball game, we're in the 7th inning. The Blue Jays are rallying here. First two reach. First man up is Paul Fry.
Got 5 lefties down in that bullpen that he can go to.
Changeup. Missed 3-0. Well, I think you got to give him the take right now. I mean, he's a youngster. He's anxious to do some damage. Just give him the take. Gibbons has been very liberal with the green light on 3-0, but I think this is a different case.
Yeah, for the veteran hitters, taking all the way. The chances are he's going to throw him another fastball. So now you can time it up here.
Changeup. Now Bundy, he's got all 4 pitches, and he just can't rear back and fire that fastball, and fastball counts. Devin Travis waits on deck. Travis is 1 for 2.
I've been beat too many times with that fastball. Deal a home run. What does he throw now? 3-2.
Another changeup, 81 miles an hour.
That's what Dwight Smith hit down in the corner for his double last time up. It was a changeup.
Pitch count still in pretty good shape. Just 90 pitches as he's working here in the 7th. Dwight Smith Jr. has 2 home runs. They both come this season. Nick Tropiano and Rick Porcello. Swings and misses at that fastball. Bundy elevates and strikes him out. 6 strikeouts for the right-hander.
Yeah, it was only 92 miles an hour, but after a couple of change-ups, it probably looked like about 95 or 96 as he elevates it. Picks up a big out. Yeah, the strikeout.
So 1 out now. The Orioles on the infield, basically straight away. Mancini is well off the line at first. Orioles have a 4-2 lead. The Blue Jays have out hit Baltimore 7-5. The Jays have committed the only 2 errors in this game. Billy McKinney and Aaron Sanchez charged with errors on the same play. High breaking ball. Bundy's running out of gas.
Yeah, he's definitely running out of gas. You can see that his breaking ball doesn't have the same type of bite that we saw in the first inning. His fastball's pretty straight, so he's been going to a lot of his off-speed stuff, and fastball counts.
Generally what happens to a pitcher, and it's late in the season, but your legs go, and then you can't drive through your delivery, and that's when you lose command of your strike zone. Reese McGuire, you saw him on deck. 3-0 to Travis. Now he might get the green light.
He might. Veteran, he understands Bundy. He's faced him before.
He takes a strike. Three and one out. Cued off the end of the bat. That changeup's been a good pitch for Bundy. 82 miles an hour.
He's been able to use it if fastball counts and get outs. Let's see what he does now.
Tellez had an infield single. He's at second. He has had a single off the third baseman's glove. He's at first. 1 out. 3-2 count. Ground ball to third. Wilkerson goes to second. Low throw. And the second baseman bobbles it. Couldn't come out of his glove with it cleanly. And the Blue Jays will have another chance. It looked like an inning-ending double play. All they can get is the runner at second.
Yeah, a one-hopper to the third baseman. They were going to go around the infield, but initially Wilkerson had to re-grip the ball, and I think that messed up the timing at second base, and then a low throw. Picks up the ball. There's the re-grip, and the low throw really messes up the timing. That's a play that should have been made.
First part of the season. Or last year when Machado was at third.
And Scope at second.
Yeah, we're saying we'll see in the half inning, folks. That was the inning-ending double play. 2 outs now. Reese McGuire with a chance. He takes a pitch upstairs. Machado to Scope to Davis, inning over. That was a routine double play, but the Orioles may have had problems on defense. McGuire is 0 for 2. Two and 0.
Bundy wanted that one. He has fallen behind the last 2 hitters, the last 3 hitters now. McGuire.
Boy, they've got him up against the ropes. He's wobbling right now. Fastball on the outside edge. 2 and 1. Here's where McGuire just has to think line drive over the shortstop's head, because you're probably going to get a changeup here.
Bundy reaching back for everything he's got left in the tank.
Yeah, I don't know if Bundy was unsure about this next pitch to McGuire, if he wants to get another set of signs. Blue Jays with a chance to get right back in this game. They trail by 2. Fastball. Pumped it right past him.
Yeah, he's giving him everything he's got. He knows this might be his last hitter of the night. That was his best fastball in about 3 innings.
94 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now it's a full count. Well, Travis at first will be moving on the pitch. Mancini, he's going to hold him on. Travis represents the tying run, so you don't want to give him a running start here. Ball in the alley, he might be able to score. Tellez is at third. Bundy's got the sign. There goes Travis. Foul back. We'll do it again. With this defense, especially at first, you would think that Bundy's going to work McGuire away, because Mancini is holding the runner on. Another foul back in our direction.
Yeah, it's a shake off the first pitch. You can see how the catcher puts down his wrist and shakes it. He wants to get a shake from that pitcher, thinking that he's going to throw him a breaking ball, and then he's just emptying the tank with another fastball. Reese is trying to time him up.
Laid off that high pitch, ball 4. And that's going to be it. Buck Showalter never hesitated. He popped out of the dugout. Billy McKinney is the scheduled batter. Reese McGuire works Bundy for the walk. That's just the first walk he's issued tonight. It comes at an inopportune time for Baltimore. Bundy's out of the game. Paul Fry, the lefty, will come in. Billy McKinney is the scheduled batter. Lots of bats on the bench for the Blue Jays. Is announced into the game. This will be his 31st appearance of the season. The scheduled batter was Billy McKinney. That's why they went to Fry.
Yeah, the lefty on the left, but he's going to get a pinch hitter. Fry's been in 30 games this year, 360 earned run average. You can see why Buck Showalter brought him in. He's allowed just 3 of 27 inherited runners to score, third lowest percentage among relievers in baseball, and they're hitting just 167 against him with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. So he wants him to get out of here, but he's going to have to do it against a pinch hitter.
Teoscar Hernandez will come off the bench and bat for Billy McKinney. McKinney singled and scored in the 6th. He finishes up 1 for 3 tonight. Teoscar Hernandez, the batter, batting .243 on the season. Takes one outside for ball 1.
For Fry, it's basically fastball slider. That's what you're going to get from it. Doesn't overpower you. There's the inherited runner efficiency. Very, very effective so far this season. Doesn't get rattled.
He's inherited the bases loaded here. Hernandez swings and misses. It's a ball and a strike. Teoscar's 1 for 10 this season as a pinch hitter. Hernandez batting .229 against lefty pitching this season. 9 of his home runs have come against lefties. Ball 2. Well, the Blue Jays had the first 2 reach on base hits. Devin Mundy gave up an infield hit to Raleigh Tellez, and Ledmus Diaz had a hit off the glove of the third baseman. And Mundy struck out Smith. Fielder's choice off the bat of Devin Travis had very easily could have been an inning-ending double play.
Giving the Blue Jays an extra shot here. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
3-1 now. Hernandez has to really keyhole here. Don't get too big.
Yeah, don't get too long in your swing. Just put a good swing on. Try to catch it out in front. Be short as possible. You're trying to think about driving in 2 runs with 1 hit.
Ground ball to the third baseman. Wilkerson gathers and fires in the dirt off the glove. 1 run is in. Here comes the 2nd run. Travis scores, and they're going to stop Reese McGuire around third. He was headed for home. But Wilkerson handcuffed Mancini at first base, and the Blue Jays have tied it. You never know. Put it in play.
Put it in play. That's why some teams, they hate strikeouts. Nothing happens. You put it in play, 2 good things could happen. They can throw it away, or you can get a base hit. Look, Showalter upset with his defense. They should have been out of the inning last batter, and they definitely should have been out of the inning here as he short hops that throw over to first base. And the Orioles, who have committed now 101 errors on the season, let 2 big runs come in for the Jays.
None more costly than that run by the third baseman Wilkerson. And it's a 4-4 game. Otis Gurriel Jr. bats with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to score 1. Here comes the 2nd run. Hernandez is around third. He's going to score, and the Blue Jays have taken the lead. Gurriel Jr. jumps on the first pitch and drives home 2. McGuire scores. Hernandez right behind him. And it's a 4-run inning here in the 2nd.
You've got those ducks on the pond, as they call them, runners in scoring position. Why wait around for a certain pitch? First good one you see, let it fly. And Gurriel is going to drive in 2 more runs with a solid single to center field. You give good teams, good hitting teams, extra outs and innings, they're going to take advantage of it.
Gurriel's 2nd hit of the night. The defense has let the Orioles down in this inning. They should have been out of it with a double play. Justin Smoke had an RBI ground out back in the 6th. That's going to slice into the seats down the right side. Tellez got it started with an infield hit. The shift was on, and the shortstop was on the right side of the infield. Third baseman had to make the play, and he couldn't make the play, so Pelez had an infield single. And Diaz had a sharp single off the glove of the third baseman. That got it started. Breaking ball upstairs.
And the Blue Jays have capitalized on those errors. They now take the lead 6-4.
Bundy's line is complete. He's charged with 5 runs, 4 earned runs over 6 2/3. Off the plate. 3 balls and a strike. Jake Petrichka is the pitcher of record for the Blue Jays. Smoke fouled it straight back to the screen. Now it's a full count. If Smoke can reach, Grichuk will hit. Full count, 2 outs. Gurriel, the base runner at first, will be moving on the pitch. Fry is set. There goes Gurriel. Ball 4. Second walk of the inning. First by Fry. The Orioles bullpen going to go to work again as Roger McDowell, pitching coach, is out to talk to Fry and to Caleb Joseph.
That has been a sore spot for the Orioles this season, their relief pitching, especially when it comes to walks per 9 innings. Just out of the bullpen. They're last in the American League. They walk too many.
The 2018 Civic Type R, like no Honda you've ever seen.
We are in Baltimore, game 2 of this 3-game series. The final time these two teams will meet this season. The Blue Jays are 13-4 against the Orioles for the season, and now they have a lead 6-4 here in the 7th. Grichuk batting with runners at first and second. Breaking ball for ball 1. Ryan Metzinger and Donnie Hart, lefty and a righty, warming up quickly. Grichuk is the 9th Blue Jay to bat this inning. He fouls that one off the catcher.
What Fry's job was to get out of this inning, and looked like he was. But the error by the third baseman has just opened up the floodgates for the Blue Jays. Looked like he got his guy on a little easy ground ball to the third baseman. He threw it away.
Teoscar Hernandez, the pinch hitter, hit what looked to be the 3rd out of the inning. 1-1 pitch to Grichuk. Well, he chases a wicked breaking ball down and in.
It's almost like he made up his mind. He said, I'm going to swing at this pitch. Just didn't see it.
One ball, 2 strikes. There's a liner to left field, but right at the left fielder, DJ Stewart. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays send 9 men to the plate. They score 4 runs and take a 6-4 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Jose Fernandez coming on for the Blue Jays. With available Honda Vac, it always bats cleanup.
This last inning, Luis Gurriel's got a couple of runners in scoring position. Why wait around? Get the first one you like, hammer it right back through the middle. He's been doing this with regularity. He's up to 30 RBIs now as he plates 2 runners. Teoscar Hernandez comes around to score. Luis Gurriel with the big hit. Also tonight's drive of the game right back through the middle.
Part of a 4-run inning. Gurriel, the shortstop, has really impressed, taking over every day at short, coming up with big hits no matter where he hits in the lineup. So the new pitcher into the ball game, Jose Fernandez, the young left-hander, his 7th appearance of the season. He takes over after Jake Petrichka had a couple of good innings.
What a pleasant surprise for the Blue Jays. And Jose Fernandez really came out of nowhere. Started in Double-A, went to Triple-A. Look at the numbers he's put up in 6 games since he's come up to the big leagues. A whip under 1. Got 2 different types of breaking balls. Very effective. Teoscar Hernandez will stay in the game, and he will play right field.
He pinch hit for Billy McKinney. First pitch is inside to the number 9 hitter, Caleb Joseph, the catcher. Fly ball, center field. Grichuk's got room. He's in front of the warning track, 1 away. Fernandez, as Pat mentioned, has been impressive since he's joined the ball club. This is his 7th appearance. And looking down the road, I could see a tandem of Fernandez and Meza being the lefties out of the bullpen for a while. They both have good stuff.
Yeah, Tim was great yesterday. He struck out the side, all with sliders. Fernandez, the same type. He's got enough fastball. Definitely has enough fastball. In his breaking ball, he's got 2 different types of breaking ball. A little cutter and a slider. Whole key is to throw strikes and just stay aggressive. And Fernandez, he doesn't look intimidated at all in the big leagues.
Well, he got deep in the kitchen of Cedric Mullins. Mullins batting right-handed for the first time tonight. He homered to start the ball game off Aaron Sanchez. He has since flied out twice, 1 for 3. Both starters out of the ball game. Aaron Sanchez went 4 innings, charged with 4 runs, 2 earned runs on 4 hits. 1 hopper to the shortstop, Gurriel. 2 away. Well, that's the thing you want from your relievers. Quick resolutions to at-bats. Don't give the hitters much information. Throw a lot of strikes. You stay ahead, you're going to be the guy that will force them to expand their strike zone.
And for a lot of these guys, there's Joe Piagini, who is up. I'm sure he is going to come in to face Jones or Mancini. A couple of right-handers if one of these batters gets on. But the young kids who have come up, like Fernandez and Meza.
Look at that. Deep in the kitchen of VR, and Fernandez, an easy inning. Fernandez just deals and eats up the 3 batters he faces. No problem. We'll go to the 8th. For the Orioles, will end up with a no decision tonight. He throws 105 pitches, goes 6 2/3. One good thing, he didn't give up a home run. He had surrendered a home run in 12 straight starts, but not tonight. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts for Bundy. He just kind of got tired at the end, lost the strike zone.
Yeah, he ran out of gas, and the bullpen could not hold it thanks to the defense. Speaking of that bullpen, there's another lefty. This is Donnie Hart. 16 games, there are his numbers. He's a side winding type of delivery. Basically sinker, slider, changeup. A couple of years ago, he was their minor league pitcher of the year for the Orioles. So he is now in the bullpen and into the ball game.
Danny Jansen and Reese McGuire. Boy, this is a great picture. A couple of young catchers sharing information, talking about where they are in the lineup, who's coming in next, maybe to pitch for them. That's awesome. They have worked together in AAA Buffalo, and they're working together now in the big leagues. I misspoke. Dylan Bundy is actually on the hook for the loss. Rowdy Tellez got it going last inning. They had an infield single that started the inning, came around and scored the second Blue Jay run of the ball game. Blue Jays would go on to score 4 runs in the second. Tellez 1 for 3.
They are playing him in a semi-shift, if you will. Statcast AI is powered by AWS. As you can see, the Orioles with limited information against Rowdy Tellez, playing him in a semi-shift. Last time he hit one off the end of the bat and beat it out to start that inning. Donnie Hart's going to try and get you as a left-handed batter to swing at that breaking ball off the plate. What Rowdy has to do is be very patient, keep that front shoulder in, and really close off right field.
Bounce over the pitcher's mound up the middle. That's VR, the shortstop. Boy, he really handcuffed Mancini. Threw him a nasty sinker over there at first, but Tellez is retired on the ground up. VR on the first base side of second, through a wicked sinker. Mancini did a nice job. Watch the sink on this throw.
Yeah, as a first baseman, you're expecting that ball in your chest. Sinker, you got to stay on that base. Good play by Mancini to stay with it.
And Diaz is 2 for 3. He ripped the double inside the bag at third. Back in the 5th inning, came around to score the first Blue Jay run. He was knocked in by Dwight Smith Jr., who also doubled in the 5th.
Biggest at bat last inning, I thought, for the Blue Jays. Reese McGuire working that 2-out walk. I think really set up the whole inning. It got Dylan Bundy out of the game and set the stages for Teoscar Hernandez and Gurriel.
Foul chip into the catcher's mitt. 1-2 on Diaz. Gurriel with a big 2-run single on the first pitch. Capped off that 4-run inning. He fights it off inside fastball. The Orioles were always known for their tight defense, and tonight it really let them down. There were 3 plays in the 7th inning that could have been made that would have made it a totally different inning, and Steve Wilkerson at third base had a couple of those plays. Off the end of the bat, VR, the first, just in time to get Diaz. You know, you watch things on the field, and as a hitter, sometimes you can pick up things. Watch the shortstop back of your screen. Watch what he does here. He moves to his left just as the pitcher starts to deliver the pitch. It was a slow breaking ball. So if he moves just a fraction earlier than that, the hitter can pick up on it. I don't know about you, Pat, but I was always looking for something like that.
We had plays like that. There was a shortstop for the Brewers, Eddie Romero, used to turn his head to tell the third baseman when the breaking ball was coming, and you would stand at home plate. He moved again. You could stand at home plate and basically tell every pitch what was coming, because he would try to tell the third baseman. You want to tell the third baseman, but look straight ahead.
It's a pinch hitter batting for Dwight Smith Jr. Jonathan Davis is at the plate with the lefty Donnie Hart into the ball game. There's a base hit for Davis, his second big league hit. A 2-out single here in the 8th inning.
First hit against David Price. Second one against Donnie Hart. Same type of swing. Inside out, fights it off, gets it into the outfield. And tell you what, he could really run. I'd take my chances right now with 2 outs, try to get into scoring position to steal another run.
Blue Jays lead at 6-4, 2 outs. Devin Travis at the plate. There he goes. Pitch inside. Throw from Joseph high. Not in time. And Jonathan Davis has a stolen base.
Boy, that was easy. An easy stolen base. He went on first movement of Donnie Hart. And watch how quickly he accelerates. Full speed into second base. Almost overslides second base because he's so fast. No chance to get him.
His second big league stolen base. He was credited with a stolen base on a double steal against the Yankees. He was on the back end of that double steal. Devin Travis now with a chance to drive in a run.
Heads up.
They pick him up. Jonathan Davis worked for a big lead at second, but the veteran Jonathan VR worked in behind him. Donnie Hart with a quick turn and final. Watch the shortstop. There's the daylight. There's the throw, and that ends the inning. Davis picked off at second. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell, Joe Siddle, and Kevin Barker in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by Honda at the Model Clearout event. The real victory lap is the drive home.
Well, in Baltimore, and the Blue Jays trying to make it 2 in a row over the Orioles. They have a 6-4 lead thanks to a 4-run 7th inning. Tyler Clippard, the veteran, on to start the 8th.
Game number 70 on the season for Clippard. Here are the numbers for the big right-hander. He has upped that strikeout percentage per 9 innings as the season has gone along. He can get you a couple of different ways: fastball, splitter, changeup.
Pascal Hernandez moves over to left field from right. Jonathan Davis takes over in center, and Randall Grichuk moves from center to right. Davis is a natural center fielder. He is most comfortable in center. That's where he's at right now as we begin the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Jones, Mancini, and Davis, middle part of the order. 3, 4, and 5. Jones is 2 for 3. Blue Jays have out-hit the Orioles 9-5. Jones out in front, pops it up. Shortstop Gurriel pulls for it. He makes the catch. Jones is retired. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. The Cardinals trying to make it 8 in a row against Atlanta in Atlanta. They have owned the Braves playing on their home turf. Of course, every game is huge right now for everybody. Atlanta's got a comfortable lead in the East, but at the same time, you want to have a little momentum going into the postseason.
How about the job the manager of the Cardinals have done? Schill came in, I guess it was around the All-Star break after Mike Matheny was let go, calmed everything down, put people in their places, and the St. Louis Cardinals have taken off, and right now they'd be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the Cardinals have removed the interim tag from his managerial name. He is now a full-time manager of the Cardinals. In St. Louis, we told you how well they're played since the All-Star break, 35-22. Ball on his strike. Trey Mancini, the first baseman, drives it into right center. That's going to drop for a base hit. Mancini's aboard, and that will bring the tying run to the plate in person of Chris Davis. A one-out single for Mancini, his second hit of the night. He had a triple back in the fourth.
Yeah, he has blistered the Blue Jays his whole career. Not a bad pitch from Clippard. It was off the plate, but those long arms of Trey Mancini reached that ball off the end of the bat. And now he's got to face Chris Davis, who does have home run power and has hit a home run in his career against Tyler Clippard.
Davis is 2 for 7 against Clifford with that home run. Davis is 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. He was hit by a pitch back in the fourth and came around to score. That's where the Blue Jays threw the ball around the infield. Air by Billy McKinney from right, and then the pitcher Aaron Sanchez made a throwing error as well. Fly ball left field, not deep. Hernandez is back, now moving in, makes the catch, 2 away. Chris Davis is 0 for 3.
Clippard has that ability to mess up timing at the plate, that changeup. Davis, he lost his lower half. There was nothing in that swing except his upper half. The best he could do is hit a lazy fly ball to left field.
Breivik Valera. He has a sacrifice fly. He's 0 for 2 for the night. First pitch strike. Clippard has pitched well. He's done a nice job. We mentioned this is his 70th appearance of the season. He's been among the leaders in games pitched all season long. He's one of 4 pitchers in the American League to make 70 or more appearances. Currently 4th on that list. Popped up, but this one's out of play. Brian Presley and Jose Alvarez of the Angels. Presley of the Astros, Alvarez of the Angels. They both appeared in 73 games. Edwin Diaz of the Mariners has appeared in 71 games.
The last time Tyler appeared in 70 games in one season, you have to go back to 2014 when he was with Washington, got into 75 games.
Valera gets jammed. Clippard has used his fastball very effectively in the second half of the season. He picked up on the fact that the hitters were sitting soft looking for that changeup and the splitter. So he's caught them off guard.
Started to use it early in the count to jump ahead, and he can finish off hitters with his splitter or his changeup. Was he throwing a slider also a little bit ago?
Occasionally.
Like an occasional, hey, I'm going to show you some kind of different spin on the ball.
Strike 3 call. Right on the corner, and Clifford pitches around a 1-out single. The Orioles leave a base runner. We'll go to the 9th. The Blue Jays have a 6-4 lead. Of course, they don't want to see the Red Sox clinch the division in their home ballpark, so that big home run for Walker. Nate Navalny was a starter for Boston, pitched very well. No runs on 2 hits over 6 innings. Jay Happ, 1 run, unearned run on 4 hits over 6 innings. Both the starters are out of the ball game. This will be Michael Givens into the ball game to start the 9th, his 64th appearance of the season.
Well, what's left down in that bullpen, he is their most reliable and best reliever, although the numbers don't show it this year. 0-7. 446 earned run average, but he leads Oriole relievers in appearances, strikeouts, and holds.
Evan Travis takes the first pitch, strike. Eight men in the Blue Jays lineup have either scored a run, driven in a run, or gotten a base hit tonight. Good balanced attack up and down the order. There's Gurriel Jr. A couple of hits, drove in 2 runs in the 7th. He is 2 for 3. Also had a sacrifice bunt. A good balance tonight. Blue Jays scoring 6 runs on 9 hits, and they haven't hit a home run. Jonathan Davis got a pinch hit single, stole a base, but then was picked off to end the 8th inning. Picked off second base. 6-4 Blue Jays trying to make it 2 in a row here in Baltimore. Rowdy Tellez started the rally in that 7th inning with an infield single. Ledmus Diaz has had a couple of hits. Troy Smith Jr. drove in a run with an RBI. Good balanced attack tonight.
You know, we talked about just stay close to this team. Their bullpen has really had a rough year, up and down, and they've lost a lot of their better arms out of that right at the trade deadline. So stay close, and something good can happen, and that happened in the 7th inning. The usually reliable Oriole defense coughed up a couple of runs.
Yeah, it's just a different cast of characters now, and you can't really even think about the way the Orioles used to play. This is a totally different team. There you see Ken Giles loosening up with a save on the board.
He values defense hook Showalter tonight just wasn't there.
Wilkerson from deep third, long throw just in time. Went away.
Beauty Tone is the official paint of the Toronto Blue Jays, only available at Home Hardware. Here's how.
Beautiful evening here in Baltimore. 27 degrees at the start of play. Blue Jays won 5-0 last night. They have a 6-4 lead here with 1 out in the ninth. Reese McGuire's done a nice job behind the plate once again tonight. They stole a couple of bases on him, but he caught Adam Jones in the first inning. VR had a stolen base. J.D. Stewart picked up his first major league stolen base. That was in the 6th. McGuire drills this one toward left center. That's going to be caught by Cedric Mullins. You can see why they like Mullins. He's got good speed in the outfield, and he swings the bat, and he's a switch hitter.
Yeah, he's hit a home run tonight. That one looked like it had a chance to drop in, but he covered a lot of ground. Off the end of the bat, you can see it played straight up on Reese McGuire. This ball is going to be slicing away from him, and he just outruns the baseball. Runs right through it to take away a hit.
Here is Teoscar Hernandez, who entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 7th. Hit a ground ball to third with 2 outs. Looked like it was going to be the 3rd out of the inning, but Steve Wilkerson, the third baseman, threw it low to first, got away from the first baseman, and it led to 2 runs. Part of that 4-run 7th inning for the Blue Jays. Hopped up on the infield. Valera, the second baseman, calls for it. He makes the catch. Michael Gibbons retires the side in order in the top of the 9th. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. The Blue Jays have a 2-run lead. It'll be Stewart, Wilkerson, and Joseph to face Ken Giles. Tomorrow night as they wrap up this season series and the final game of this 3-game series, Blue Jays and Orioles. It all starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's with Jamie Campbell. And that's Blue Jays Central. Make sure you tune in because they have an interview with the Director of Player Development for the Blue Jays, Gil Kim. And he can certainly bring you up to speed on a lot of these players that are here with the Blue Jays and some of them that aren't just yet. Going to be a busy and interesting offseason for the Toronto Blue Jays, so make sure you check that out tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Here is Ken Giles making his 52nd appearance of the season.
He has been almost unhittable lately since he has harnessed that fastball and that breaking ball. Coming over the Blue Jays now in 51 games combined with Houston. ERA at 5. He's 22 for 22 in save opportunities.
Jonathan Davis was in center. Now he is in left as Kevin Pillar has come off the bench to take over defensively in center field. So the Blue Jays now have 3 center fielders in their outfield. Here's DJ Stewart, goes out to the first pitch. He's late on that Giles fastball. had quite a night. Picked up his first big league hit back in the fourth. Picked up his first big league stolen base in the sixth. He has walked, singled, and was hit by a pitch. .98 on the corner.
His last 3 appearances, Ken Giles, have all resulted in saves against the Indians, and then the 2 at New York where he just blew away the Yankees. Gary Sanchez had no chance against him in either one of those games.
There's that wicked slider, just missed inside. Giles has been very consistent with his ability to throw strikes with his fastball. And when he does that, he's nearly unhittable because he's got that great slider.
Yeah, and you get them starting to swing at everything. When you're jumping ahead with that fastball, then you finish them off with that slider.
Another foul ball off the umpire. One ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff man here in the bottom of the ninth. Slider. Tellez wide at first. Giles is there, just in time, 1 away. Rowdy Tellez can move around over at first. He's got good hands. Check it with Devin Travis to make sure that was the right play, but he's got to go after that.
Yeah, and it's always a tough play where the first baseman has to go to his right. It's just a longer throw, and it can mess up the timing between the first baseman and the pitcher. But it's worked perfectly as he sets himself and he leads Giles just enough for Ken to catch it and touch the bag to get that first out.
Yeah, pitchers want to have that glove, that ball in their glove before they get to the base, and then they can get out of harm's way. 1 out. Steve Wilkerson, the third baseman, is 0 for 2 with a walk. He gets jammed. Tellez will flip it to Giles, 2 away. I want to remind you, coming up after this ball game, Sportsnet Central with Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. They'll have all the latest in the pennant races around both leagues and what's going on. Maple Leafs playing a little hockey tonight, so you can make sure you check that out. So the Orioles will send up a pinch hitter. Number 64, Corbin Joseph. Interesting. Joseph is the brother of the catcher, Caleb Joseph.
Who he's pinch hitting for.
He's done it twice now. That's going to be a lot of discussion over the Thanksgiving dinner table. Hey, I hit for you. This happened on September 11th against the A's. Corbin Joseph hit for Caleb Joseph in the bottom of the 8th. It has happened before, a little bit more often than you might think, but it was the first time since September of 2009 when Adrian Gonzalez pinch hit for Edgar Gonzalez.
And if he doesn't get a hit, Caleb sort of goes, well, I could have done that.
I could have done that for sure.
His brother is behind now, 0-2.
But Caleb is very proud to have his brother playing on this team as well. Oh, 2. Ground ball. Travis will have it, and this should do it. That's the ball game. Ken Giles picks up his 23rd save of the season as the Blue Jays storm back. They have a big 4-run 7th inning and have won 2 in a row here in Baltimore.
Dylan Bundy looked like he was going to get the win, but he ran out of gas, and the Blue Jays hung around just long enough, put the ball in play, and the Orioles kicked it around there in the 7th inning. That's when the Blue Jays scored their 4 runs, took the lead, and was over to the bullpen after that. How about the job of Petrichka, Fernandez, Clippard, and Giles shutting down the Orioles?
The bullpen stepped up big tonight, and the Blue Jays win it 6-4. We'll be back tomorrow night for the final game of this 3-game series. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great night. Stay tuned. Here's Sportsnet Central with Ken and Ivanka.